OK? Can you bring us up to speed, the very latest that you know?
Well, as you mentioned there, the Louvre Museum, which is the world's second most visited museum in the world, with around 9 million people visiting every year, that's around 15,000 every day, is being evacuated after what the Interior Ministry and police here in Paris are describing as a serious incident. Now, we are still waiting for confirmation of the details of what exactly happened, but there are several reports around what is this serious incident at the Louvre this morning. Some reports suggesting that a soldier opened fire after a suspected attacker tried to enter the underground station carrying a suitcase. Other reports saying that the soldier opened fire after a suspected attacker, a man, had tried to attack the soldier with a knife. And there are also reports that the man, as this incident was happening, shouted the words Allah Akbar. This is an Islamic phrase which means God is great. Now, there is a huge amount of panic in the city, particularly around the Louvre. As I mentioned, it is a massive tourist hotspot with around 15,000 people visiting every day to see some 35,000 objects and some of the most famous pieces of art in the world, including the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. And what we do know is that police have cordoned off the nearest metro station, which is underground at the museum, and they are now trying to evacuate the entire area. Now, there are many people who are very concerned and looking for more detail about this incident, and there is panic, obviously, amongst tourists, as Paris has been hit on several occasions in the past few years. Big incidents starting in January 2015, Rory, when an Islamicist killed 17 people. This was in an attack at the satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo and a kosher food shop in Paris. And then again in November 13th, 2015, there were those series of coordinated attacks in that night of terror on the city where 130 people died. So at the moment we know that the area around the Louvre is being evacuated. The Louvre itself is being evacuated after people who were there visiting were initially told to sit on the floor. We do know that this is a serious incident. That is how it's been described by the police and the Interior Ministry. But the exact details of what happened are still to be determined, whether it was a man being stopped from entering the Louvre with a suitcase or whether that man did attempt to attack a soldier. But we do know that the soldier opened fire and that there have been some people injured. We understand that it's the man in question, and we also understand that there has been a small injury to the soldier as well, and we await more details and confirmation about this serious incident at the Louvre.
Yeah, Charlotte, in fact, we're getting more information as you're there in Paris giving us this live report over the phone. We understand, according to the Paris police chief, the Louvre attacker wielded a machete, shouting, as you said, Charlotte, Allah Akbar. They say the attacker was carrying 2 rucksacks, but neither contained explosives. And the head of the Paris police now saying the Louvre attacker's remarks lead them to believe that he wanted to carry out a terrorist attack. Charlotte Dubensky will join you very soon for more updates. Thanks very much for that. Right, for now, here on the programme on RT International, we have received 2 documents from the hacking group Fancy Bears, which suggest that the International Olympic Committee has doubts concerning the McLaren report into alleged Russian state-sponsored doping. RT's Nadira Tudor now joining me live in the studio here to discuss this potential revelation here. Very interesting coming in from these leaked documents. The very latest. What do you know on this?
It is really interesting. I mean, we've received these 2 documents exclusively from the hacking group Fancy Bears. One is an official letter from the International Committee to the McLaren writers, and attached is a table asking them to show evidence against each individual. So we'll start with the letter first. Now, it states that they want the request for information regarding each allegation towards the individuals as stated in the original report, in order for them to be able to complete investigations or take action if necessary. This obviously implies that there was originally limited evidence, and it's important to stress that. If we look at the table now, the International Olympic Committee, they sent this list, and it includes 16 Russian officials, including the sports minister Mutko and his deputy,